The third thing about evolution of a hero is rebuild upon your strengths and resources. President Reagan, one of his most key attributes was his humor. During a debate with Mondale, the reporter says, your staff tells us that you were very tired the last time you debated against Mondale. How can you promise that you have the strength to be president again? Kennedy had to spend days and days without little sleep when they had the missile crisis. And Reagan says, I want you to know I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I'm not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience. Some people feel that response was a key contributor to people endearing themselves to Reagan. Another man that inspired a nation, Martin Luther King. I have a dream that my little children will one day live in a nation that will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream. What is evidence that dream has become a success? President Obama. Using your strengths, I am a very good bad speller. Some people have to work at it, some of us just have natural ability. I am so good at bad spelling that a BYU professor once told me, Melva, after I read one of your stories, I begin to doubt how something should be spelled. When you can make an English professor doubt his abilities, you just kind of know you're good. Graham Bell. We always hear the quote, you failed 1,000 times, and he says, hey, it was not 1,000 times failure. It was 1,000 times knowing how it doesn't work. Persistence, that guy is persistent. Another example of skills using your resources. Code talkers, World War I and World War II. Native Americans were given the assignment to speak military information in their native tongue because the Germans kept breaking the United States codes, and they could go ahead and find out where the troops were going and kill a lot of people. But you know, people in Germany and people in Japan do not know Chakotay or know Navajo, and so it's just kind of hard to translate. And the code walkers even came up with new words to be able to use this, and that's just using your resources. Farmers, when they were building America, people would build communities, and if they had a barn rising, they would get together and help each other with that barn. They wouldn't do it solo. Let's do Joe's, let's do George's, let's do Henry's. They would all help each other, and as a community, individual farmers, they would each help build their individual barns. Washington, he wanted to encourage his men, and one time he read Common Sense to his men to remind them what the war was all about. Now we're going to go upon reflection. I'm going to give you some new questions. Write 3 strengths that you see in yourself. And then the next question, write 2 strengths that others see you have.